30,000 feet above the clouds, sunlight streamed through the cabin windows, painting warm gold across quiet faces. The engines hummed a steady rhythm, a lullaby in the endless blue. Passengers slept, read, or stared dreamily out their windows, their thoughts thousands of miles away. In seat row 10, window side, sat Ava Clarke, 31, wearing a simple gray hoodie and jeans. Headphones hung loose around her neck, a half-read novel resting in her lap. To anyone watching, she was just another traveler on her way home. But inside, she carried a silence heavier than any luggage, a silence born from loss, from the sky she once called home. Ava had been a combat pilot, one of the best, until a mission gone wrong stole her confidence, her crew, and her will to ever fly again. She'd walked away from the Air Force 2 years ago, promising herself never to set foot in a cockpit again. Yet here she was, back in the clouds she once commanded, hoping for peace, pretending that peace was even possible. Outside, daylight glowed soft and eternal, the ocean far below glimmering like liquid glass. Everything seemed perfect, ordinary, harmless. But fate doesn't knock. It whispers. And soon that whisper would turn into a storm that would test every truth Ava had buried, and awaken a part of her she thought was gone forever. "Ladies and gentlemen," the captain's voice cracked through the intercom. "If there are any combat pilots on board, please come forward immediately." The words sliced through the calm like lightning. Passengers turned, eyes wide, conversations dying mid-sentence. A ripple of fear ran through the cabin. Ava froze. For a moment she thought she misheard, but the trembling in the captain's tone told her otherwise. Her pulse quickened. Her hands went cold. Not again, she thought. Not this sky. Not this life. Then came the voice inside her, firm, quiet, unyielding. "You can't run forever." She looked around. No one moved. The captain repeated the call, desperation leaking through his composure. That's when Ava exhaled, closed her book, and stood. As she walked down the aisle, whispers followed. "Is she a pilot? What's happening?" Fear turned to fragile hope. The flight attendant met her at the cockpit door, uncertain, pale. "Ma'am," Ava cut her off with steady eyes. "I'm a pilot. Military. Let me through." Inside, chaos reigned, alarms flashing, turbulence shaking the floor. The co-pilot was unconscious, slumped forward. The captain was drenched in sweat, fighting to keep the aircraft steady. "Who are you?" he demanded. "Ava Clarke. Call sign Halo. Former Air Force pilot." Relief flooded his face. She took the co-pilot's seat without hesitation. "Show me the status," she said, voice like stone. The sky outside darkened as thunder rolled over the wings. "Before we go on, if you believe in courage, redemption, and second chances, subscribe to this channel for more cinematic true stories that move the soul. Because this is only the beginning." The plane bucked hard as lightning flashed across the windshield. Alarm screamed. "Left engine fluctuating," Ava said, adjusting the throttle. "Hydraulics failing," the captain replied, his voice tight. "Then we fly it broken," she said sharply. The storm outside wasn't just wind and rain, it was alive, clawing at the aircraft, testing its strength. Passengers clutched each other as trays rattled and oxygen masks dropped. Ava tuned it all out. Her breathing slowed, focus sharpening like a blade. Every vibration told her what the instruments couldn't. She'd flown crippled jets before, danced through fire once. But this time, she wasn't wearing a flight suit. She wasn't supposed to be here. The irony stung. After everything she'd run from, she was back in the fight she swore she'd never face again. Lightning lit her face in fragments, fear, determination, defiance. "Come on, girl," she whispered to the plane. "Hold together." The captain's eyes darted between her and the altimeter. "You've done this before," he said. "Too many times," she replied softly. A roar of thunder cracked overhead. The plane dipped hard, screams echoing through the cabin. Ava gritted her teeth, pulling the yoke steady. "Not today," she hissed. "Not one soul." She guided the jet through the chaos like she was part of it, every muscle remembering, every instinct alive. Outside, the storm raged on. Inside, Ava Clarke became the storm's equal. Minutes stretched into hours. The storm refused to relent. Fuel gauges blinked low, turbulence tore through the fuselage. "We can't hold much longer," the captain rasped. Ava's knuckles whitened on the controls. "We don't need longer, just enough." Below them, the ocean churned, white-capped and merciless. Then, through the chaos, she saw it, a break in the clouds, a thin strip of land with faint lights. "There," she said, eyes blazing. "Runway." The captain squinted. "That's an old air base, short strip, no clearance." Ava smirked. "Then we make it work." Static crackled through the radio. "This is Delta 473. Request emergency landing. Former Air Force pilot at controls." A pause, then a reply, faint but clear. "Copy that, Delta. You're cleared, Halo. We're guiding you in." Ava swallowed hard. Her voice softened. "Halo, haven't heard that name in a while." The captain looked at her, exhausted but trusting. "Then let's bring it home, Halo." The plane fought back as crosswinds tore at its wings. Ava's arms ached, but her focus never wavered. Every correction was a battle. Every second a miracle. "Brace," she said calmly. "This is going to hurt." She tilted the nose, guided the descent. Rain streaked the glass like silver veins. The runway lights blurred closer, trembling through the storm. Ava's heart pounded, but she wasn't afraid. She was alive. More alive than she'd been in years. This was her sky. Her redemption. The runway raced up fast. "Crosswind 20 degrees!" the captain shouted. "I see it," Ava said, her tone cold but composed. The aircraft jolted, metal screaming under strain. She adjusted pitch, fought drift, countered turbulence with precision only a combat pilot could command. "Come on, stay with me," she muttered. The first wheel kissed the runway, then bounced. The plane slammed down, skidding violently, sparks flying from its brakes. Passengers screamed, prayed, held their breath. Ava didn't flinch. Her muscles locked as she pulled reverse thrust, fighting gravity itself. The aircraft screeched, slowed, until finally, it stopped. Silence. Then, the cabin erupted. Applause. Sobs. Hands clasped in disbelief. Ava sat frozen for a heartbeat, staring at her trembling hands. The captain turned to her, eyes wet. "You saved them," he whispered. 300 souls. Ava looked out the window, where the storm was breaking apart into sunlight. "No," she said quietly. "They saved me." As rescue lights flashed outside, she removed the headset, her shoulders collapsing under relief. The cabin door opened. A little girl ran up the aisle, eyes wide with gratitude. "Thank you, Angel," she said softly. Ava smiled through tears. "I'm no angel," she whispered. "Just someone who remembered how to fly." News headlines exploded. Asterisk. "Unknown passenger saves flight." Asterisk. "Hero in row 10." Asterisk. But Ava wanted none of it. No interviews. No fame. Just silence. She stood alone by the tarmac as sunlight spilled over the wet runway. The storm had passed. The world had returned to calm. The captain approached quietly. "You could have died up there." Ava nodded. "Would have been worth it." "You're a miracle, you know that?" he said. She smiled faintly. "No. Just a woman who stopped running." Passengers gathered nearby, some crying, others smiling through disbelief. The little girl from before waved her drawing, an angel flying through clouds. Ava knelt to meet her eyes. "Keep believing," she said softly. "The sky's full of angels." As she walked away, the morning light glowed golden against the departing plane. For the first time in years, Ava felt peace, not the kind she'd been searching for, but the kind you earn after walking through fire. She had gone from guilt to grace, from silence to purpose. And though she never wanted recognition, the world would never forget the angel in row 10, the woman who rediscovered herself in the storm, and reminded everyone that sometimes, courage doesn't roar, it whispers. I'm still here.